I came across a story on Reddit the other night that completely pulled me in. You know how sometimes you're just scrolling, half asleep, and then one post just wakes you right up? Yeah, that's what happened to me. So this guy was talking about his ex, and not just any ex. We're talking about the kind of ex who makes you wonder how you ever survived the relationship in the first place. She was jealous, controlling, always checking his phone, always suspicious. Eventually, he couldn't take it anymore, so they broke up. Clean cut. At least, that's what he thought. Months later, out of nowhere, she calls him. And instead of a normal, "How are you?" she hits him with two bombs right away. First, "You cheated on me." Second, "I'm pregnant, and the baby is yours." Imagine being on the other side of that phone call. You're trying to move on with your life, and suddenly your past just crashes through the door with accusations and a baby? Now, the guy was confused because, according to him, the timeline just didn't add up. They hadn't even been together during the period she claimed she got pregnant. But here's the thing, doubt has a way of creeping in. Even when you know the facts don't match, that little voice in the back of your head goes, "What if?" He told Reddit that for a moment, he actually started questioning his own memory. Was he wrong about the dates? Could he have messed up the timeline? But here's where it gets messy. She didn't keep it between them. Oh no. She told his friends. She told his family. She told everyone that he was the father and that he was abandoning her while she was carrying his child. And people believed her. Suddenly, his parents were calling him, disappointed. His friends were giving him side eyes, treating him like the bad guy. Imagine that weight on your shoulders, everyone thinking you're some heartless jerk who left a pregnant woman alone.
He tried to do the right thing. He told her, "Look, if the baby's mine, I'll be there. But we need a DNA test." And just like that, her mood flipped. She went from calm to screaming. She refused the test, saying, "If you don't believe me, then you're dead to me." Big red flag, right? But remember, everyone around him still thought she was the victim. He looked like the monster for even asking for proof. That's when cracks started showing. A few mutual friends let things slip. Apparently, she'd been seeing another guy around the exact same time. Not just seeing, but, really seeing. And when the child was eventually born, people noticed something. The baby didn't look like him. At all. The truth finally came out. The real father, that other guy she'd been sneaking around with. All that time, she had been accusing him of cheating, when in reality, it was the complete opposite. She was projecting her own actions onto him. The wildest part? She tried to keep lying until the very end, but once the DNA test confirmed it, the whole facade collapsed. The guy wrote that he felt this strange mix of emotions. Relief, because he wasn't tied to her forever through a child. Anger, because she almost destroyed his reputation in relationships with lies. He said it was one of the hardest periods of his life, not because of the breakup itself, but because of how easily people turned against him when she played the victim. And honestly, reading it made me think, how quick are we as people to believe the first story we hear? How easy is it to paint someone as the villain without checking the facts?
So after the DNA test, the truth was finally out. He wasn't the father, not even close. But here's the thing, damage had already been done. His family had doubted him. His friends had whispered behind his back. His name, his character, his entire reputation had been dragged through the mud. And even though he was cleared, it didn't just magically reset everything. He described sitting at dinner with his parents trying to explain everything. But instead of an apology, they just looked at him with that same disappointed face. He said, "It hurt more than anything, knowing my own family thought I was capable of abandoning a child." That stuck with him. Because how do you rebuild trust when the people closest to you doubted you so quickly? And the ex? She didn't apologize, not once. When confronted, she flipped the script again. She said,
Well, I thought it was yours. You can't blame me for that. But that wasn't true. She had known all along. She had lied deliberately, used guilt and manipulation to pull him back into her world. And the kicker? The real father? He bailed, just walked away. And instead of facing her own mess, she had tried to dump it on the one person she already hurt. He admitted that, for a while, he almost believed her lies. That's what shook him the most. She gaslit him so effectively, he questioned his own memory, his own timeline, even his own sanity. He wrote, "That's the scariest part, when someone convinces you to doubt your own reality. I almost believed I was the kind of man who'd leave a pregnant woman behind."
But then came the turning point. Once the truth was undeniable, he decided to set the record straight, not just privately, but publicly. He sat down with his parents, showed them the DNA results. He reached out to his friends, told them the full story. He even posted online about the manipulation just to clear his name. And slowly, the tide shifted. Some friends apologized, admitting they had believed her too easily. His parents, embarrassed, finally admitted they had been wrong. It didn't erase the hurt, but it was something. He said it felt like getting his life back piece by piece. Every person who finally believed him was like lifting a brick off his chest. Meanwhile, his ex started facing consequences. People stopped trusting her. Some friends cut ties completely. Her reputation crumbled in the same way she had tried to destroy his. And ironically, the guy she cheated with, the real father, wanted nothing to do with her or the baby. She ended up alone, the very thing she tried to avoid by trapping someone else. Karma hit hard. He closed his post with something that really stuck with me. He said the biggest lesson I learned wasn't about her. It was about people. How fast they'll believe a lie if it fits the story they want to see. And how important it is to stand your ground even when everyone is against you. He reminded everyone reading that truth has a way of coming out, but you have to fight for it. You can't just sit back and hope people figure it out. By the end, he wasn't bitter. He was free. Sure, it took months of stress, ruined relationships, sleepless nights, but he came out of it stronger, more careful about who he trusted, and more certain about his own worth. And honestly, reading his story felt like watching someone walk through hell and come out alive. It's the kind of story that makes you pause, put down your phone, and just sit there, thinking about how easily your life could be twisted by one person's lies.